In this video, we will be taking a look at our production report. So on the left-hand side of Praktika, you are going to find your Reports tab and select Production Report under the Advanced Reports area. Now, if you would like to have some more space for this screen, you can use your minimize function at the top here. So these three lines, when you click on them, they are going to hide that side panel for you. It just gives you that full screen view and a little bit more room. There are also some other options available for the columns that you want to see. So on the very right hand side of the screen, you'll see Manage Columns Visibility. This is present in quite a few of the Praktika reports. We don't put all of the information there as a default, but some practices do want a little bit more information, so you can choose to add it in. So, for example, I can choose to show the note that has been assigned to a particular treatment item. When you charge it through, you have the option to put that little yellow note on the actual item number itself. Some people like to do this to show, for example, if a crown was an Emax or a ceramic, lots of different little things like that. So you can just select the item that you're wanting there and it adds in another column for you. All right, once you've moved everything around, you've got it where you want it. You can also move these column headers around as well. So if you want things displayed in a certain order, you can absolutely do that. When you're happy, you can just press Save View Options at the bottom of the screen. It means that anytime you come back to this report, it's going to look exactly the same for you. Now, I'm going to select my date range as just this month. You can manually enter in a date range if you're wanting a very specific period of time. And then this has generated the report for me. Now, by default, all of our providers are selected here. I can split this up per provider by, in the top corner here, either manually unselecting them, or I would just unselect all and select them one by one. Whatever you find is quicker for you depending on what information you're needing. So I am just looking at this report for this month so far. Today is the 29th, for provider Simon Waltersong. And this is a complete list of every single item number that he has invoiced for this month. Now, I can filter this further by grouping things together. So we can group it by code, and then they're going to be split up into different codes here. Now, you'll see here, it does separate the Medicare codes, and if Simon had invoiced for DVA codes, it would also separate those as well. So what some practices would prefer to do is actually group by ADA code instead. So you'll see grouped by code, we've got 114 and then we've got 88114. When we group these by ADA code, they are going to be grouped in together because they all fall under ADA code 114, and then we've got the Medicare codes listed in here as well. So we can see, for example, item code 011, Simon's done 7 of those this month so far. This is the total fee that's been invoiced. If you were claiming the private health insurance under high caps or Medicare and doing that process electronically, we would also be able to tell you what benefits have been claimed for those item numbers. Being a test environment, we don't process any real-time claims, which is why these are all 0. And then that's it. That's just a big overview for you. Now, some people are more visual. So what you may choose to do instead is up the top here, instead of viewing it in table mode, we can flick over to chart mode. Now this is going to break it down into either a pie chart up the top, or we've got a bar graph down the bottom, again, just depending on your preference. And I can see by quantity, we have done the most of item code 022, so our bite wing x-rays. But then if we switch it to by value, the 613s, even though there haven't been anywhere near as many of them, they're obviously worth a lot more to us. So just by value or by quantity, depending on what information you're wanting to see. What some practices are doing, and we're seeing a really big push for this as well, is they are grouping things together in different categories. Now you have got control over the categories. So if I say down the bottom here, I'm going to filter by category, I can now split this up and I can see Simon by value. About 30% of his treatments that he's doing are preventative. About 36% are minor production, and then the rest, about 35%, are major production by value. So he's pretty even across the field. He's pretty much split a third. These categories you've got control over, and you will set these by going into your management area, treatment types and plans, treatment categories. So you can see here, major production. In our test practice, we've set that as any code between 600 and 900. So at the moment, it's going to be pulling up all of our crown and bridge work, all of our dentures, and all of our ortho. They are all thrown in together into that major production category. You can split this however you like. So add in as many different treatment categories as you like, and then you can use that within your production report. So let's say last month, all providers, group it by category, and this is sort of how it all goes together. And again, flick over to that chart mode if you need to. Lots of different ways to customize this to suit your needs, but it's a really exceptional report, and I highly recommend practices use this so that you can sort of get an understanding of what types of treatments you're doing and how much money they are making you. As always, let our support team know if you have any questions. Thank you.